Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Mark Moses Show podcast. As we're always broadcasting live from the Anidjar and Lavine Accident Attorney Studios. Take back control of your life. Call them today, 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Now to join me here on a Thursday to recap the Magic's big win last night on national TV there at the Garden against the Knicks. This guy does a great job with Orlando Magic Daily. And yes, Locked On Magic. He is my great friend, Phillip Rossman-Reich. Phillip, how you doing today?
I am doing good. Much better than I think the last time we talked here.
Yeah, I think since the last time we talked, the Magic have gone, I think, 5-2 in their last 7. And let's start with last night. How did they get the win there against the Knicks?
I think the biggest thing was they looked like themselves on defense. Like they were playing look, the Knicks have, I think, the second best offense in the league. They shut it down. They shut them down. They played physical defense. They bugged the Knicks. They got under their skin with their physicality and their size. They used that defense to create offense. Like, this is sort of the vision the Magic had. Like, one of the tweaks that they wanted to make was to play a little faster. But really, that was just about, we need to be better at turning the turnovers and the stops that we get into baskets on the other end. And that's really what the Magic did and did effectively last night against the Knicks. And if the Magic played defense like that, they gave up, I think, a 105 defensive rating. It was the third best defensive rating for the Magic this season. If they play like that against the elite teams, they're going to have a chance to win. They're going to have a chance to do some very special things throughout the season.
All right. Well, as of this morning, we know that Paolo Banchero had to leave this game. What happened last night to him where he had to leave the Garden?
It's not completely clear what happened. He had that awkward kind of fadeaway shot that he made. That he landed kind of weird on. Some people think it happened on a rebound, but essentially Paolo left last night's game with a strained groin. There was a play in the second quarter where Anthony Black was about to swing it to Paolo in the corner, and Paolo kind of waved him off, and Paolo was like, just leave me in this corner by myself. I can't move right now. He obviously went out of the game. He spoke with Fred Katz of The Athletic after the game, said he'll be getting an MRI today, but said as well that he was able to do movements. He's like trying to loosen it up, trying to figure out what was going on. He said that the trainers told him that if it were a tear, he wouldn't be able to do anything. So it seems like there is good news on that front, but groins are really tricky. You don't want it to linger. So I would suspect that Paolo will miss a few games here to just let it recover naturally.
The thing I want you to know is I really watched that fourth quarter. Even though they're up double digits, I wanted to see how the Magic were going to play in that hostile environment against, like you said, a hot team. And I'm going to let you know this. I loved when it's Suggs, Black, and those guards, Bane, all of them stepping up and swarming. What did you see in that fourth quarter?
I mean, it was a gut check. It was a gut check. You know, I found it really, really impressive that the Magic never let the Knicks, they let the Knicks once within 10. They got it to 9, I think, early in the fourth quarter. They answered every run the Knicks sent, and they made some huge plays, not just on defense, but on offense as well. That Jalen Suggs 3 where he hits the deep 3 and is just like kind of calming everybody down. And whether he was doing that to the Knicks crowd or to his teammates, I'll let you judge. But it was a huge shot. And so at every moment where the Magic could have broken, and frankly, this year, they have kind of faltered when they've been pushed and tested and prodded. You know, they gave up that lead against the Hawks in game 2. They took a big run, I guess, Atlanta in the second game. They had a 9-point lead with 2.5 minutes to play Monday and gave that away. They've been pushed around a little bit. They've faltered, but to see them stay strong and never let the Knicks truly threaten them, that was really, really impressive on the road and a good sign moving forward.
Tell me about Anthony Black in that fourth quarter then.
Yeah, Anthony Black, like the Magic kind of go how he goes. I hate to say it, that there's no stat over the last 2 seasons, so this year and last season, there's no stat that correlates to the Magic winning more than Anthony Black's three-point shooting. I haven't updated the stats, but entering Monday's game at the very least, Anthony Black shot 20% in Magic losses and 40% from 3 in Magic wins. So he goes, I think he went 1 for 4, 1 for 3 in Monday's game. He was, I believe, 2 for 5 or 3 for 6 in Wednesday's game. When Anthony Black is aggressive, and especially when he's hitting his shots, he becomes a really difficult player to guard. He's the guy that the teams want to leave open. So when he's making shots and he's making plays, that makes the Magic really, really tough because that's the guy that teams are happy to leave open.
Doris Burke said it on the call last night. I don't know if you're watching us. We're here at Phillip Rossman-Reich. If you saw the national broadcast, she called it out. He had 2 straight floaters, like these Tony Parker type floaters to the rim. And she's like, yeah, give us more of that. Do you want more of that from Anthony Black, Phillip?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the kind of Anthony Black we've been asking for the last 2 years. Like we've just like, I feel like AB is such a precious guy. Like he's just one of the chillest, nicest dudes in the world. But it just always feels like every time we talk to teammates about him, they're like, we're trying to pump confidence in this kid. We believe in this kid and all of his talent, everything he can do. And it always felt like it was a little bit of like if you've ever been around Anthony Black, like he's very much a kid still. Like he very much feels like he's a high schooler, like just very reserved, like not super expressive. Looks like he's still in high school to some extent. When he plays confidently and he has that glint of confidence in his eye, he is as tough to play as anyone. You're talking about a 6'7" guy who can handle the ball, get to the basket, be physical, like all the things that you want from a young player. It's just been about putting those pieces together consistently. And I think that'll be the story throughout the season for him, because when he plays well, the Magic become a really tough team.
All right, I'm going to try to test you now because you are a basketball. Would the word be nerd, savant?
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Addict.
All right, there was a play in the fourth quarter. It drives me crazy. So Desmond Bane has the ball. There's a little push off on Brunson, and they call it, and Bane hits the jumper, the 15-footer from the left baseline. That's a BS call. If that was a playoff game, you ain't calling that. No way.
Maybe not. I would say this about Dez, and I do like this about Dez. Dez is a physical dude.
Yeah.
Dez is a strong dude. Like if you've ever been around him, like those shoulders aren't they're no joke. He has a habit of extending that arm, of getting a little more physical than he should be, and leaves himself susceptible to those kinds of plays, especially when he's going up against a crafty guy like Jalen Brunson, smaller guy like Jalen Brunson. I don't mind it occasionally because look, the Magic are a physical team. One of the reasons they were able to win on Wednesday night was they established a physical tone very, very early. They made it clear to the New York Knicks, do not push us. We are going to push back. In fact, we're going to push first. And the Knicks were clearly a little bothered by it. And again, that's the definition of Magic basketball. I think throughout this season, we've been begging, like, why doesn't this look like Magic basketball? Why doesn't this look like the team we've seen from the last 2 years? This game, more than any other game this season, was like, yes, this is Orlando Magic basketball. It took them 12 games, but they finally look like themselves, where they don't back down. They push first. They keep pushing. They annoy the heck out of you, make you miserable. They make you feel you. The Knicks are going to be feeling this game today. That's what Orlando Magic basketball is supposed to be. So, yeah, Dez probably pushed off. Brunson probably sold it. I didn't have a problem with the call. Dez has got to watch his off arm a little bit more. But look, that's who Desmond Bane is, and that's why he was such a perfect fit for this team.
Okay, see, I'd like to ask Bane this question. Maybe you do that as a guard to then put it into the defender's mind. I'm going to bring that to you, so you better be right. Maybe you do that, and then it sets up the next play, the hesitation.
You don't use your off arm to do that. Like that's the thing. Like you don't like push off your off arm. You don't make it easy threat. You dig your shoulder into the guy's chest. You hit him a little bit. You make him know early. But look, as much as everyone likes to claim that the NBA is this soft league, and there's a lot of fouls, and fouls have been up this year. They've been calling a lot of things really tightly, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Magic struggled is early in the season. They didn't find the physicality line that they needed to set. Last night against the Knicks, the Magic found that line, and they were the aggressors all night. That was something they wanted to be. They were the physically more dominant team, and the physical teams in this league still win. Like, you can't be hacking, you can't be fouling, and the Magic have to be careful about that. But you got to have physicality. You got to be tough to win big in this league. The pretty teams don't win. It's the ugly teams that find a way to get through.
It's a great point. And if you don't think it's physical, go look at Franz Wagner's nose right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact that he keeps going, he's playing with the mask. That is awesome. What did he have last night? 27?
28.
20. That was
28,
big.
29. Yeah.
I know he missed those 2 free throws late, but hey, that was big. The Magic needed those points from him, didn't they, Phillip?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the Knicks were averaging like a 123 offensive rating. They scored 130 points in their last like 3 games. They were undefeated at the Garden. You can't rest. Like, yes, this is I mentioned all the physicality, but look, everybody can make threes. Like the Knicks are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. The Magic shut them down from 3. But you go on we saw this Monday night, you go on a little 3-point shooting spurt, suddenly you're back in the game. And so the Magic had to score every one of those points and had to be tough and mentally tough throughout the game.
All right, I have to go over this with you. I thought Brunson was stupid with 2 minutes ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love Brunson. He played at Stevenson High School. My cousins all went there in the Chicago suburbs. I always root for him. Dude, there's 90 seconds to go. You're down 15. It's a long season. Why are you going for these ridiculous layups? It's a stupid. I get it. I don't want him to be injured. I think it was dumb what he did.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why Jalen Brunson is who he is because of his mindset, of his never quit mindset, because of his always going mindset. That is a guy you remember who was a 2nd-round draft pick. Like everybody overlooked him. He's small. He knows he's small. He knows he has to overcome his size. That's on the coach to know when to wave the flag, because Jalen Brunson knows only one speed. Like he's only going to attack that way. And look, it's unfortunate he took a bad step, rolled his ankle really badly. It was nobody's fault. You know, everyone who's played basketball has rolled their ankle. It just happens. It's part of the game. And it's unfortunate. Hopefully he's not out for very long. Hopefully he's not out at all. I hope it's not serious enough, although that was a really bad turn. And I was very upset that ESPN showed it in very slow motion. I was like, I don't need to see that. I don't need to see that. My ankle's throbbing right now thinking about it. But look, that's on Mike Brown to know, like, hey, I need to pull the plug. I need to call timeout, get my guys out. Like, we're not winning this game. But anytime you step on the floor, you can get hurt. So, it's about minimizing risk. That's always what it's about. But, Jalen Brunson can't play any other way. He's got one gear, and that's why he's an all-star.
And he's the team. That team goes with Jalen Brunson. Look, I get it. It's a long season. You can't put yourself in that situation. You know what? I agree with what you just said, with essentially coming off Thibodeau, where he just grind them for 9 straight months. And now he's going in this direction. All right, let's go back real quick. This has been a long week. It's only Thursday. So you're there against the Blazers. Explain the game winner and what happened with the Bane 3.
Yeah, I mean, first off, there was a sense that because the Magic had gone, they were up 8 with 2:32 to play. Portland makes that run, and it just feels like if this game goes to overtime, the Magic are probably going to lose. Like, it's just shock, just like Portland's rolling. Like, it doesn't feel like they have the momentum to play another 5 minutes. Second, it feels like if the Magic lose this game, this is trouble. Like, this is bad. Blowing an 8-point lead with 2.5 minutes to play at home. I don't care if it's a back-to-back. Missing free throws, making the mistakes they made down the stretch. That feels like an inexcusable loss. That feels like this isn't going to correct itself. This isn't going to fix itself. And then just like Dumb and Dumber, you do this one thing and totally redeem yourself. And the vibe is completely different. Look, Desmond Bane needed that shot. And it was good that he got it. And my friend Matt Moore from Locked On NBA said this. Sometimes the narratives just work. Sometimes it's like, oh, that shot is what lifts the lid for Desmond Bane, gives him the confidence. It was a crazy shot. I was sitting next to my friend Jeremy Brenner from Magic on SI. He turned to me before and said, Desmond Bane's going to hit the game-winning shot here. And what do you know? That's why you brought Desmond Bane in, to hit those kinds of tough threes in those moments, to hit that shot that he made at the end of the 4th quarter on Wednesday. You brought him in to be this playmaking volume 3-point shooter, and they've been struggling with the volume part. But if that's what unlocks him, that's what unlocks him and gets this season back on the right track. It never ceases to amaze me how small the difference is between winning and losing. How it's literally one thing. If the Magic miss that shot and lose in overtime, we're probably having a very different conversation today. Like, do they beat the Knicks? I don't know. Probably not. You win that game, and all of a sudden it just feels like the pressure's off. Like, everything's flowing. You come into New York with a little pep in your step, a little more confidence, and you get that huge win. And now it starts snowballing into the next game.
All right, just to clarify, was Bane supposed to take the shot? on that play?
The play was designed for Paolo to get it in the short corner. And Bane was the second or third option.
I love that the NBA on X, Twitter, whatever it's called, showed a video yesterday. It's Paolo's reaction to Bane hitting the shot. I think that's also good for the team where everyone was excited that Bane hit the shot.
I mean, I think that like this is a pretty close group. Like I know there's some rumored innuendo out there, but this is a pretty close group. And there has been a lot of frustration with the way this season has started. Just because like not that they expected it to be easy, but they expect a lot from themselves. Like they've said it throughout the course of the season. Whatever expectations the outside world has for them, internally it's double. Internally, they believe they could do a whole lot more. And so they're frustrated they're not meeting that. And so they needed something to bring back the joy. Like Jamal Mosley talks about this a lot. We play with joy. They needed something to bring back the joy. They needed something to give them that little boost of confidence. They just needed something to relieve the tension a little bit. And a buzzer-beating shot, feeling that feeling of winning, feeling that, frankly, when you hit a buzzer-beating shot, it's like a feeling of invincibility. It's like, oh, yeah, we got this. Like, no one can stop us. Last possession, you can't stop us. They needed that shot of confidence. And I think, like, that can be a very clarifying moment for them. And obviously, like, I say this all the time, too, momentum is the next day's pitcher. Like, that shot would have meant nothing if they didn't come out and play the way they did in New York. Now it feels so much more meaningful. And now we're expecting, okay, no offense to our friends from Brooklyn, run up the score against the Nets. Like, really put your stamp on this NBA Cup game. Then then you can dovetail it to the rest of the season.
Let's end with this. They're missing one thing, and I'm waiting for him to come back because it feels like it's like old school hockey. They need their enforcer. They need Mo Wagner back. They're missing it. They need one more guy at the rim. Can we get Mo Wagner back on this team?
It's going to happen sooner than later. Now I was told that he is still a little ways away. It's still going to be. I've been targeting like mid-December for a return.
Okay.
He traveled to New York, which is a good sign, but it's just a one day trip, so I don't think that means very much. If I'm a Magic fan, when he goes on the first extended road trip, that's probably a sign that his return is imminent because they want him practicing, they want him around the team again. That's a good sign for him. So the Magic have 2 road trips coming up. The first is the Thanksgiving road trip. They play New York 1 week from Saturday at home. Then they're at Boston on Sunday, at Philadelphia for an NBA Cup game, and then at Detroit over on Black Friday over Thanksgiving. That's the first big road trip. And then in like 2 weeks later, they go on another big West Coast road trip. I would expect Mo Wagner. I will be put on Mo Wagner watch after that West Coast road trip. So, like, again, targeting like mid-December around Christmas, which would be about a year since the injury. So he's making good progress from all that I've heard. It's about building strength. It's about building stamina, getting back into like game shape. And then he's got to play with contact. That's the last piece that's missing. But from all I've heard, like, the recovery's gone well. It's just he's on the court. He's doing stuff on the court, but it's about ramping up to being NBA ready, which is a different level of things.
We need T-shirts with his like big head on it. Mo Wagner watch. That's what we need. Wagner boys.
The conditions for Mo Wagner are beginning to form on the forecast here.
Phillip Rossman-Reich, my man, thank you so much for coming on and have a great week. All right, man.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mark.